Hey, Bassgeek here, and today we're going to be doing a review of the 13 Fishing Concept Z2 slide. That's right, guys. We're going to be talking about the Concept Z2 slide by 13 Fishing, of course. Now, the reason they call it the slide is because you've got a magnetic control right here that allows you can pop the side off, you can adjust your centrifugals, but you can adjust your magnetic on the fly here. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. Now, the reason why I picked this reel up is because I need a new flipping reel. So this is a 7.5-1, and it's got 22 pounds of drag to it. So perfect when I tighten it down for winching those big fish out of heavy cover. So guys, these reviews we call the average angler review. We don't dive into the deep, dark secrets of the reel. This is what we're rating this on, what 90% of you guys are going to rate a reel on, or rate a rod on, or rate a bait on, and it's going to be look, feel, and how it makes you feel. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to judge it on what most people judge it on when they take it out of the box. So the very first thing when you take it out of the box, you're going to think weight. Now, this does weigh, I believe it's 6.37 ounces. So, you know, it's not a light reel, it's not a heavy reel. It's got good weight to it, especially for what I want to do with it. Now you can see I've already strung it up. I'm ready to go do some flipping and pitching. But this reel in the weight category, I mean, it's a good middle of the road reel and a good middle of the road weight. So I'm going to give it a good 4-star rating. You know, not bad, not great, good. Now we go into comfort of the reel. And I'll tell you, it's got a good low profile. Look how low the gear sets right there. Great comfort, because when I'm flipping, I love to have that line right across my finger so that I can feel it. I love the handles. You know, not a big fan of the color, but I love these handles. I love the flat handles. Really gives me that grip to be able to hold, you know, not a round handle that my hand might slip off of easier. I really love their handles. So the feel of the reel, you know, I don't like to give 5 stars, but this one really does have a great feel to it as far as comfort in the hand. So comfort in the hand, I mean, it's pretty dang good. I'm going to give it a 4.5-star rating. I really want to give it a 5. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, it just feels good. I like the smoothness of the side plate. You know what? Screw it. Let's give it a 5. We're going to give this a 5. I like the handles. I like everything about the feel of this reel. Everything about it. It's you know, again, I've got big mitts, but I think even guys with smaller hands wouldn't have any problem whatsoever in palming this and using it for flipping or pitching. Now, before we move on, I do want to say, and generally I use Tackle Warehouse as kind of the go-to, but at retail, this is a $275 reel. So $275 to get you in this reel. And we're going to compare it against those reels that are, I always say, give or take in the categories, $20, right? So this is kind of in the middle. We could actually put it, you know, in the $300, or we can actually put it in the you know, $250. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to round down, because a lot of times what they'll do is they'll go on sale, so you can get it for cheaper than $275. So we'll round down. We'll put it in a category of the $250 reel range. So $250, and we'll see what this reel, how this reel stacks up against those other reels in that, we'll say, $230 to $270 mark, right? So that's what this reel will be competing against. Now we're going to talk about quality feel. Quality feel, what I like to talk about when I talk about quality, you know, when you get it out of the box, you know, one of the first things you're going to do is you're going to be like, oh, it's heavy, it's light. That's going to be the first reaction you have. The next reaction, it's going to be as soon as you palm it. You're going to do exactly what I do. You're going to put it in here. The third reaction is you're going to spin it. You're going to check how it's like. how well it spins, how quiet it is, and does it feel solid? Does it feel solid in your hand? And this really does feel solid in my hand. I like everything about it. Even the little 13 non-slip pad right there. I don't like the color of the handles, but I do like the feel of them. I mean, everything about this reel really does scream quality. It screams quality, precision engineering. I'm a big fan of this reel. I'm just going to tell you right out of the box, I love this color. There's a lot of boats. I've seen a lot of cars coming out in this color now, so this seems to be a hot color on the market in any market you're in. Everything about this reel just really does scream quality, but one thing, and that is the magnetic brake. It feels a little flimsy to me. I don't like where it's at all, because again, got big mitts, and it's going to be super easy for me to hit this when I'm flipping, when I'm casting. I get it. I love the ideal behind it. I just don't like the execution of it. So we're going to give it 4.5 stars. And we're only knocking because it's a little plastic slider. And I just don't know how well that's going to hold up. We'll see over time. Now we move on to tightness. So one of the things you'll always see me do is you'll see me reel and just kind of push back. How do the compartments, how tight is everything? Always love that. Never have to worry about dropping that overboard. That's a great thing about 13 Fishing's reels. Nice little clip back there. It's tight, but it's easy to get on and off. It's in a good place. The dials here as far as your spool tension, it's nice. It ticks. Again, back to the quality. Same with the drag. It clicks. It's nice. It's tight. Again, the quality of it is incredible. So, for me, tightness, I mean, it's right there again. I don't feel anything bad about this reel whatsoever, just because I don't like to give. And there might be a little side to side, and I can't tell what this is right here, if that's a plastic kind of around the main gear. So I don't know how that's going to work. I mean, it feels like plastic, and it may just be a plastic cover, but yeah, it does appear just to be a plastic cover. I'm going to give it a 4-star rating for, tightness. I think it is extremely tight. Like I said, it really does feel well put together. Noise, the only thing you're hearing right here is my line beating around. This thing does have a little bit of noise, not like the original Concept Z's, which I do have. They do make a little bit of noise on casting, but this thing, they have really gone above and beyond on quieting down these reels. Man, I'm super impressed. This is a reel I cannot wait and will be in my arsenal for quite a long time, I'll tell you. I would have given the old one, the Gen 1 that I have, probably a 3-star, but they have outdone themselves. So let's give this a 4-star because it's great. I mean, the only thing I've heard is my line spinning on it as it comes to noise. All right, looks, guys, I'm telling you, look-wise, this is a BA looking reel. Again, other than the stupid orange, man, I get it. It's kind of throwback to the original, which was orange, and let me tell you, looks wise, I'd give that probably a 2.5 stars. Quality was great, but the looks of it, don't give me a bright orange. Number one, we're not even going to get into talking about that, but that's the only knock I've got on it. I love the way this thing looks. I love the kind of grooves that they cut in, and they carry that over from the spool tension knob to the drag. Love this color, man. I mean, I love this color. Really. I really, 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 really love this color. Like I said, the accents, man. And you know what? I actually like the orange right here. The orange right here where it's got the little Z on it, the little accents on it. They put the spool on that little plastic out spot. You can't really see it unless the light's right. But I do like the way this thing looks. It is a sexy looking color, but I'm going to knock off. We're going to give it 4 stars on the handles. I mean, I love the gray, the kind of gunmetalish polished aluminum. I don't know what you would even call that color. I really like everything about it, you know, about this reel as far as looks go. It is a sexy, sexy reel. All right, that's it. Let's get out on the water, fish this thing for a few weeks, few months, and let's see what we think about it. Okay, guys, we are out on the water with the Concept Z2 slider. We're doing our review on it, and I can say I've used it for a few months now, and I've been really impressed with it. You know, a lot of really cool little tricks. Like I said, love how that kind of works out. And, you know, I'm flipping with it. I've got it on my flipping rod. I really don't have any of the centrifugal brakes. It does have the little slider here, which I do kind of worry about hitting that every once in a while. I've got it on the plus side, but this thing, as far as casting goes, really super easy. See, I hit it right there, switching hands. So as far as casting goes, when it comes to flipping or pitching, for the most part, I just adjust the spool tension knob. Now I'm going to adjust it up just a little bit, and I'm going to show you guys how to cast this bait out. Let's just do a little sidearm cast here. Really, really good. And I don't have it tightened up. Like I said, I got 0 on, and it didn't backlash. Now, it started to backlash on me, but it didn't. So if I cut some of those centrifugal brakes on, it's probably going to cut that right out. Based on the way you set it up, I'm going to have to go with what Tackle Junkie says. It may be one of the best casting reels as far as distance goes that I own. So what are we going to give it for casting? Like I said, I mean, gosh, I hate to give 5. It does take a minute to kind of get it all tweaked up, the slide and everything. I'm going to knock off some points for the magnetic brake slide right here. I don't like that position at all. So we're going to give it a 4 for castability, not because it don't cast like a dream. It casts a mile. But what we're going to do is we're going to give this a 4 simply because of the placement of that. I just assume have it somewhere over here, to be honest with you, or down here. So now the next thing is retrieve. You know, how does it feel? Does it feel solid when I'm bringing it back? Do I get any play in the reel? Do I feel the gears moving around? Guys, again, this thing is machined extremely well, and there's no play in this reel whatsoever. I'm gonna have to give it at least 4.5 to 5 stars on that. You know, the higher end reels just really shouldn't have any play in them. And guys, really, this one absolutely does not. So let's talk about the tweaks. You know, we talked about, you know, the slide, we talked about the brakes. How does it, you know, how does it tweak out? How does the drag set up? Does it hold those tweaks? Do you have to play with them very much? I'm going to give it a 4 in that category, because one of the things that I quickly discovered is, you know, this is a bearingless system. And so I quickly discovered that when you tweak it at first, it'll kind of, I don't know if it just kind of wears in, but you'll have to kind of tweak it just a little bit more after you've used it for a little while. But after that, I can set it and forget it. Once you've used it for a little bit, it really does stay put, and you don't have to touch it again, especially with what I'm doing flipping. You know, I've got everything pretty well tightened down and loosened up. Now, if I was casting with it, that might be a little more trouble if I was throwing something like some crankbaits or something like that. But again, this is a pretty high-speed reel, so I'm not going to use it for that. Going back into the braking system, the drag. Guys, I've got this tightened down. It's 20-pound test drag, and I'm telling you, it don't move. It don't move. So the drag is solid on it. The braking system, when you set it up on the centrifugal brakes, it's great. All you have to do after that is basically adjust that slide and your spool tension. I'm going to knock off some points because I do not like the magnetic slide right here. It's super sensitive. It is. I mean, you don't want to, I mean, each click means so much. but I don't like where it's at. For me, I'm going to use this for flipping most of the time, and so that really concerns me that it's there. For the most part, I do keep it on max, on the plus side, and I really don't touch it. But all that being said, I'm going to knock off at least a point for that, or a star for that. I really like this reel, but I'm going to give it a 4. Overall, guys, the Concept Z is really one hell of a reel, and it is going to be a staple on my rods from now on. Might change out this color, but you know, it really is a great reel for the money. All right, so here's the final tally. Now, as always, guys, questions and comments in the comment section below. You guys know I love to talk about fishing with you. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, ring that bell so you get the notifications when these videos come out. You guys rock.